What's up, people? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. We're going to get right on into it today, right into the meat and potatoes. I'm actually kind of ticked off. This is going to be off topic. This is not going to be something that I regularly talk about. This is probably never going to be repeated again after this day, but because things have happened in Canada where, honestly, we're going to dive into it, where you're being censored beyond belief. It's fucking crazy. I decided just to talk about it just for today, just so you guys and girls know what might or might not happen when you do or do not see me in the near future. I still will be creating content, but you might not be able to see it. All right, so we're gonna dive into it. Censorship kills creativity, guys, and also we're like that mindset of, in my opinion, where censorship really comes from, and why it's sort of like in my opinion, a weak fucking trait. Like to be able to, or to want to censor shit, to not be able to see something and have someone control it for you as if you were a baby and you can process it, with your own brain and your own, conscious decision. Like that type of ideology or things that replicate that piss me off, because you should have the freedom of choice. You should have the freedom to not see shit if you want to or if you don't want to, and I at least think that since I turned 18, when I was an adult, I got to make all my decisions for myself, but clearly the government is my second parent. So we're going to be diving into this today. It's not going to be long at all. I'm not even going to do the intro for the podcast. I'm not even going to do the outro for the podcast. I'm simply just going to talk, about this for a little bit, 5 fucking minutes, and then I'm going to disappear, right? Because I want to talk about it, get it off my chest, and then move on. It's been pissing me off like since yesterday. I had fingers crossed to not want to fucking, you know, to see that this bill is going to pass, but the bill passed. Mago, what's happening, bro? He says, "Fuck this bloody country." Watch IG, not send this mass notifications. It's not even that too. Not just Instagram, but TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm pretty much everywhere. And to be censored, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I make my money online, so it's annoying, but it's not going to like kill me, because I still have like a business and I still have people in my network, and it's still gonna work. It's still gonna work. I'm not even doubting that, but I'm just more ticked off than pissed off when it comes to censorship and what's actually going to be allowed, or what you guys in Canada might be allowed to see. So this one is geared specifically towards Canadians. All right, this one, I won't even lie. If you're not from Canada, this episode might not, you shouldn't care about it. You know what I mean? Unless you actually care about Canadian creators. But with that said, we're going to be diving into the podcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're not even going to do an intro today. We're not even going to do an outro today. I'm kind of ticked off. I'm just pissed. Why? Because censorship in Canada. If you live in Canada, you know about Bill C-11. And basically, the way that it works is if your content isn't Canadian enough, no one's going to fucking see it in Canada and probably outside of Canada, right? I've, had a couple of my influencer buddies or content creator buddies hit me up and say, well, you just use like a VPN and all that stuff. I'm not too sure how that's going to really work, but I do know at the same time that, it's still annoying. It's still annoying to have to change shit and conform to an agenda because somebody says so, right? In this case, it's the government, but when we were children, it was our parents. And you'd think that, when you grow up, you would have the ability to make your own decisions. You'd have the ability to like literally choose what the fuck you want to see or what you don't want to see, what you want to watch, what you don't want to watch, what you want to read, what you don't want to read. But apparently the government has the control to do that today. So I'll be talking about nothing related to fitness mindset or even remotely related to health today. I want to be selfish a little bit. I want to talk about censorship because it's killing my creativity, or at least it will kill my creativity a little bit. Because if I want to produce content that serves, the people that are listening to the Meathead on the Mic podcast, I'm going to have to change things or change where I live, which is fucking weird, right? I'll be talking about society, or at least the society we're living in now, and how poisonous it has become over the last 2 fucking decades. Okay. The first thing that I want to bring up, and honestly, you can berate me, you can say whatever the fuck you want about me, but the fact of the matter is, you're watching me through a screen or you're listening to me, with your headphones on. So there's nothing you can do to hurt me, really. All right. The first thing I want to talk about is how everything has sort of just become subjective nowadays. Almost everything is subjective. Almost everything is an opinion. Almost everything is something else other than what it used to be. Do you know what I mean? Like biological facts don't fucking matter anymore. It's all about how the other person feels. And I'm not even talking about gender only. Let's talk about fat phobia. I'm a fat phobic because I actually care if you fucking live long enough to, have a healthy life, to raise healthy children, and live full scope of your life. I'm apparently a bigot because I'm calling out what I see with my eyes, something that is objective, not subjective, right? Even with the intention of making you a better person. Like, I'm a professional bodybuilder and a head coach of the Natural Nomad Academy. I do this for a living. I help people burn fat for a living, right? So I never come to that or come from that perspective where it's like, you're disgusting for being fat, or I'm shaming you for being fat. Sure, do they feel shamed? Absolutely. When they go into clothing shops, they can't find their clothes that fit them. It pisses them off, and argue like understandably so. Like I get that, makes sense. You're a human being. You know what I mean? You're going to feel these things. But just because you feel them doesn't make me wrong. Doesn't make me a bigot. Doesn't make me a criminal or fucking someone that's evil and out to get you. If I call you fat and you are clinically overweight, it is not me putting you down. It's not me, belittling you or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I probably wouldn't even call you fat. If you reached out to me and you asked me for help, I would know that you need the help anyway. Why? Because my eyes are telling me visually, I can see that this person might be struggling with overeating or obesity. And flip the script. Maybe it's under eating. Maybe this person's skinny. Am I skinny phobic now? If because this person's skinny and I want to help them, I want to help them put on some tissue so they can live a fucking long, healthy life? Like, what the fuck? What is this nonsense, guys and girls? Over the last 20 years, basically my entire life, as I watched this change as I grew up, where people are now more and more afraid to say what the fuck is actually there in front of them. It's like you could now. It's like, I swear to God, 20 years ago, and honestly, you could berate me for this. They might rip my video off for this. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna say it anyway. You could look. Okay, look. Imagine the movie White Girls. Who remembers White Girls? The movie White Chicks. Sorry, White Chicks. White Chicks. The movie White Chicks. Okay, where they had the Wayans brothers, act and play as white women. Okay, cross dressing and all that. Yeah, I fucking love that movie. It's hilarious. To this day, I laugh at it. Right, but now imagine not only if that movie was created today, but if we were to like stand in front of two people that were actors and we didn't know they were actors and they were doing the cross-dressing thing and they stood in front of us and somebody asked us, what do we see in front of us? And I don't know if you've watched the movie, you can definitely tell they're wearing makeup, you can definitely tell they're cross-dressing and all that stuff. What would you say? Is this a man or is this a woman? And it's like you're not even allowed to be wrong in this case, which is weird because that's never been the case in anything else, right? Like if I accidentally said, okay, I think those two are men because they're actors, and that like today that would cause an uproar. That's like it's uncomfortable to talk about now, right? It's weird. What I see with my eyes apparently doesn't connect, or at least it's not allowed to, right? And that's just one side of things. If you want to talk about gender, it's like across the board now with health, with orientation, with everything, really everything nowadays. It's like the last 20 years has just been a shit show of people being told what not to say or what to say, regardless of what facts already exist, which is the silliest thing ever, in my opinion. Especially forced beauty standards that the general population doesn't even conform to. Like, you do understand the general population sees things differently, yet is getting ridiculed for having those perspectives, which aren't even really doing anything to anyone. They'll argue and claim that you're invalidating someone's existence. They'll argue and claim that you are belittling somebody because you see something the way you do. Well, the fact of the matter is, whether I see it the way you do it or whether I don't, it still exists. So how does my opinion change anything, let alone yours? It's fucking ridiculous. Everything is subjective now. Nothing is objective. Facts don't matter anymore. Okay, and that's where we get censorship. Censorship comes from that type of fucking, that type of sphere, and it's annoying. It's so annoying because why should I be forced to say or not say based off of your feelings? It's never been that way. That's not what I thought freedom of speech was, and I'm not here to fucking like be difficult. I'm not here to be difficult at all. I don't even care really. Like, the reason why I'm only talking about the gender and the fat phobia and all that stuff is only because it ties into to censorship. And the censorship bill C11, which is mainly going to kill content creators that are Canadian, is essentially forcing us to go in a certain path in a straight line, right? And you can't ask questions because God forbid you ask a question. Asking a fucking question is offensive nowadays. Go figure. Isn't that crazy? Like imagine, like definitely there's some people that are dickheads that are condescending that'll make remarks and sarcastic questions and things. There's that, and then there's people that are legit fucking confused that are like, okay, like how is this possible? And they'll ask the question, and boom, you're either canceled, berated, bullied, fucking swarmed upon by fucking social justice warriors or fucking I don't know the fat community what they call themselves. I don't even care. The thing is this: censorship is weak. Censorship kills creativity. Censorship forces people to think in a mindset where people have to be apologetic. Censorship forces you to be in a mindset where it's absolutely not okay to have any form of, even if it's peaceful, meaningful discourse when it comes to serious problems, whether it's health related or mental health related. And I'm not even going to go into that because that's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, how? How is this a thing? Like, Bill C-16 passed, I think, 2017. If you guys are aware of that, again, these are mainly Canadian topics. If you're not Canadian, you won't care, or you might not know. But it's just weird. It's very weird how to see in the last 20 years how like things that ordinarily were not an issue to be talked about will literally get you fired, like exiled. It's fucked. It's really fucked. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what are the Canadian content creators supposed to do now? Like, just make posts on like bacon and maple syrup and fucking like lumberjack. I'm not even that Canadian, bro. I'm not even that Canadian. What does it mean to create Canadian content? We just create content, and we're Canadian, right? So it's weird. This whole entire Bill C-11 shit, it pissed me off. I originally was going to talk about, something health and fitness related, but I had to just bring this up because this, in a way, this censorship shit, in a way, ties into the way people think, man. And it sucks. It's super whack. If you think it's okay for the government to make a decision for you, if you think it's just the same thing as like growing up and having your parents be accountable for you. Like you have your own kids, you're an adult, right? You pay your own bills, but your parents get to choose and pick what you eat. Your parents get to choose and pick what time you wash your ass. Your parents get to choose and pick what you see on television. In this case, metaphorically speaking, because the parents are are the government, right? So it's weird, man. It's weird and it's stupid, and it comes from a place where people are, weak people are bred mentally. Weak people that can't hear shit. They can't have a question asked, whether it's genuine or not. Yes, I understand. There are actual dickheads. There are people that will like really, belittle you, or like they're condescending and they're not trying to understand you. They're really trying to just troll you. Yeah, I get that. But what about the people that are genuinely concerned? Like, I can't even ask a question because why? It hurts your feelings? What the fuck is that? Anyway, you might not be able to see a lot of the Meathead on the Mic content because it might not be Canadian enough. And I refuse to just conform to some stupid agenda. How can you help? Well, if you enjoy any of the content that I put out, simply just subscribe or follow or share it out. It's not hard. And you don't even have to do that. You know what I mean? Just search for it and find it. Because if you just wait and hope to see it in your algorithm, hope to see it in your timeline, you might not do it. You might not be able to see it. Why? Because the government says they're your daddy now and controls whether or not you get to see the things you actually like to see. Why? Because censorship. And censorship comes from a mindset of weak sheep, bastards, pieces of shit that can't hear anything at all. Whether it. Anyway, let me not get too heated up because I'm actually furious. No intro, no outro. We're just talking today. I'm fucking out. That's it. That's all. Podcast is recorded. Let's see here. I'm gonna read some of the comments real quick, and then I'm gonna just get out of here, go hit legs, because for the life of me, I'm gonna lose my marbles. Yeah, healthism. Go figure. Homie says, "Nah, dog. They could call you fatphobic for not wanting to be fat. Shit backwards. Like, what the fuck is that, man? Like, make that make sense. Actually, I just took that in. That is a POV they have. fucking weird, bro. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. Like, I'm trying to think of. Nah, forget it. Homie says even race. Well, yeah, especially race, bro. It's all identity politics. There's all this Marxism shit. Fucking. I'm gonna bite my tongue, bro. Because they just let me back on live streams after like 90 days. I was banned from going live for 90 days. I don't know if you guys know already. But I'm not gonna. Fuck me, Sean. Yeah, what's up? Interesting topic. Something I'm not gonna talk about again, really. But it's on my mind right now, so I just got to get it off. It's off my chest. What's good, Ashanda? How you doing, sister? What's good? Homie says we were at Mount Royal yesterday, protesting the same stupid ass bill. I mean, what are we gonna do now? It's already in motion. It's already in motion, man. We're cooked. Not really though. Like I'm still gonna create the content, as I said. You just might not be able to see it. So the way you can help is just share it, like it, subscribe, follow. Simple shit, but only do that if you like the content. If you don't like the content, then that's on you. You don't even. I don't know why you're here right now watching this. All right, but if you do like the content, seriously, not just mine. Any Canadian that's posting, any Canadian that's doing their not due diligence, doing their best to help you, doing their best to give out information that they have that they believe can help you in your life. And if you like that information, if you find that information valuable, if you want that information to continue to develop or at least to have access to that continuously, do your due diligence, subscribe, follow, share out that content, or search for it individually. Because if you rely on that to just pop up on your timeline, yeah, fat chance. I'm going to read some of the comments here on TikTok. All right. I appreciate the gifts. I appreciate the gifts. This is what? My NFT is insane. I appreciate the gifts. Thank you so much. And I appreciate the follow. Much love. JD310 says, have amazing and special. Thank you. I'm not amazing and special. I'm a human being, but I really do appreciate the words. We're humble out here. She loves Zion. Hi, how are you doing? User 9. I don't even know why you didn't change your username, but homie says, how are you an IFBB pro that is skinny? I'm more jacked than you. Then I'm super IFBB pro. First of all, your English is off, but I appreciate you showing up. And I know you're trolling here and whatever. Like it would make me mad if I gave a shit, but I don't. I don't know your name, your user something. You're hiding behind something. I don't know what's going on in your life, but thanks for giving me the time out of your life, to tune in over here and just talk. You know what I'm saying? You're never gonna get that time back. You sitting here typing, like you could have done something better, but it's all good. I have a pro card and you don't, though. Love you, dog. I can't pronounce your name properly, but oh, you're from Iran. Love you. Much love. MJ, what's good? All right, folks. Michael Anthony, thanks for tuning in. All right, that's it. That's all. I'm not here to talk a lot. I just have to get this off my chest. I don't want to fucking repeat this ever again. Just getting it off my chest, and I don't ever want to talk about it again. And I hope I never have to talk about it again. Tomorrow we will be back for the final episode of the week, and we will be gearing back into what we normally talk about on the Meathead on the Mic podcast, which is fitness, health, mental health, consistency, and any struggles you guys and girls may be experiencing when it comes to your journey in health and fitness and how to make that a little bit easier. All right. Thank you so much. It's been live. Hope you had a nice time here. Hope you like what the topic was about. Natural IFBB Pro Matt Butale signing out. Boom.